I am the Knight. I am Batman.
Have you ever wondered about the voice behind the mask of the iconic Dark Knight? It's usually the talented voice actor Kevin Conroy. He's renowned for bringing Batman to life in numerous animated projects across different media. From his unforgettable debut in Batman the Animated Series, to a prolific career spanning around 30 years and nearly 60 projects, Conroy became the definitive voice of Batman. Sadly, he passed away in late 2022, leaving behind a rich legacy that forever resonates with Batman fans. This video is just a monument to a significant person who took the character to another level, making him an icon. So to honor the legend, I'll be your guide as we delve into the evolution of Kevin Conroy's performances as Batman. Number 1. The DC Animated Universe. His career began with the first installment of the DCAU, which delved into Batman's groundbreaking adventures. By day, he's the CEO of Wayne Enterprises, but by night, he tirelessly fights against crime, the Joker, and his rogues gallery. Despite having allies in his never-ending crusade, such as Alfred, Robin, Batgirl, and Commissioner Gordon, his past catches up with him.
This will make your defeat all the more satisfying.
Shut up and fight.
Old wounds are reopened as a former love interest reappears in his life, who secretly seeks vengeance on mob bosses responsible for her father's death. Bruce must confront her.
What will vengeance solve?
If anyone knows the answer to that, Bruce, it's you.
And in the aftermath, he continues his mission with the new Robin, Tim Drake, as Dick becomes Nightwing. He also forms a surprising partnership with Superman, and although it's initially rocky,
You'll be rid of me as soon as I find the Joker. That may not be soon enough.
he discovers the strength in teamwork. As his adventures unfold, Batman joins forces with Earth's greatest heroes to stop a secret invasion, forming the Justice League. While Batman agrees to be a part-time member,
I'm not really a people person, but when you need help, and you will, call me.
he joins them on several adventures to save the world. When the League greatly expands its ranks, his adventures focus on stopping the government division Cadmus and combating the secret society. Ultimately, a pivotal moment in his old age forces him to pull a gun on someone, so he retires the cowl.
Never again.
However, 20 years later, he meets Terry McGinnis, who takes up the mantle with Bruce as his guide. Though nothing would prepare them for when the Joker returns.
Your old eyes do not deceive you, Brucey. After all, who know me better than you?
Learning that the real Joker turned Tim into Joker Jr., Terry deals with his Joker, so when he recovers from the nightmare, Bruce amends the past. However, the story doesn't conclude there. Terry discovers that Bruce is his biological father, adding a new dimension to the relationship. In my opinion, Kevin's greatest performance as Batman is at its peak in the DCAU, not only because there's a lot of character development, but also because this version showcases Batman at his highest points.
I hope you know that. You showed me that justice doesn't always have to come from the darkness.
And his lowest points.
I know I made a promise, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't count on being happy.
Number 2. Batman Gotham Knight. In this anime-styled film, we follow 6 separate stories that revolve around the Dark Knight. The first features kids sharing their different perspectives of Batman. They each describe him differently, believing he's a living shadow, can fly, or is a robot, until one saves him and realizes that he's just a man.
Nice work, kid. Looks like I owe you one.
The second story involves detectives Alan and Ramirez caught in the middle of a gang war. While Alan mistrusts working with Batman, Batman saves him, stops the gang war, and saves his partner Ramirez.
You're MCU, aren't you? Gordon Squad. Lieutenant Gordon is a good judge of character.
The third story follows Bruce learning about an electromagnetic gyroscope that deflects bullets. Batman field tests the device against 2 gangs to force a truce, but ultimately decides not to use it when a thug is accidentally injured by a deflected bullet.
I'm willing to put my life on the line to do what I have to. But it has to be mine, no one else's.
The fourth story takes us deep into the sewers as Batman tracks down Scarecrow and Killer Croc.
Our monster is weighing more than 300 pounds. The trail's heading east. Stand by.
Eventually, Croc engages him, but despite Batman being infected with Scarecrow's fear toxin, he pushes through the hallucinations to defeat Croc and stops Crane before he kills a cardinal. In the fifth story, Batman's resilience is tested. Flashbacks reveal his training with extreme measures.
Pain doesn't work for you. You work through pain,
allowing him to control an injury in the present. In the final story, Batman must protect Gordon from an assassination attempted by Deadshot. While Batman intercepts Deadshot's bullet, he learns he's the actual target. Regardless, he gains the upper hand and knocks him out.
You have to know your enemy, Alfred. I'd never use one, but even I can appreciate the attraction of a gun.
Number 3. The Arkham Series. Kevin then delved into video games, voicing Batman in the Arkhamverse, which is widely regarded as the best in superhero gaming. We start with Arkham Asylum, where Batman brings Joker to Arkham and escorts him, finding his arrest was too easy.
You okay? He surrendered almost without a fight. I don't like it.
But the tables turn when Joker escapes and wreaks havoc. Batman must face inmates and villains to reach Joker, who injects himself with a stronger Bane venom called Titan. A year after defeating him, in Arkham City, Bruce is kidnapped, learns Hugo Strange is running the place.
I feel I should thank you. Capturing Bruce Wayne is so much easier than Batman.
And escapes. However, Joker infects Batman with his poisoned Titan blood, forcing Batman on a desperate mission for a cure. As Strange attacks the city, Batman puts his health on hold to stop him.
Oracle, shut this place down.
My pleasure.
You've ruined everything.
But after drinking a cure, he drops the rest when Joker attacks, and Joker dies. After Batman carries his body out of Arkham City, 2 years later in Arkham Knight, Scarecrow threatens to release his fear toxin in Gotham.
Stay here. I'll send someone to pick you up.
What are you doing?
Evening the odds.
Batman responds in his Batmobile to battle his militia, before meeting the Arkham Knight, confronting the Scarecrow, and getting exposed to his toxin. The mixture of fear and slight remains of Titan blood cause Joker to appear in Bruce's mind, as he frequently taunts him.
We're going to give the city what it deserves. A new Batman. A better Batman.
After discovering that Jason Todd is the Arkham Knight, Batman's identity is revealed, so he overcomes his fears and stops Scarecrow. With the city saved, Bruce fakes his death, though he returns 5 years later and Suicide Squad killed the Justice League when the squad finds Batman. Under Brainiac's influence, he's a darker and more ruthless version of himself as he's willing to cross the line.
Let their corpses strike fear into those who'd resist.
His journey ultimately leads to a shocking moment when Harley Quinn shoots him on a park bench like a common criminal. Despite the memoriam at the end, the final game dishonored this version of Kevin's Batman.
Where is he?
I got nothing to say to you, Batman.
Talk, or I'll crush every bone in your body.
It's a poor end to the Arkham Batman and the Arkham series, but thankfully, this wasn't Kevin's last performance. Number 4. Superman Batman Public Enemies. In a thrilling animated crossover film with Superman, the action kicks off with Batman analyzing a massive kryptonite meteor hurtling towards Earth. As Superman plans to meet with President Lex Luthor about it,
Well, when it all goes south, don't count on me to save you.
I won't. I know you pretty well, too.
their meeting goes south when Lex tricks Superman and Metallo attacks. No surprise, Batman comes to the rescue, but Metallo still gets the upper hand on him and shoots Superman with kryptonite. An escape to the Batcave follows.
Time for you to see my side of the world.
Where Alfred successfully removes the lethal shard. As Bruce reveals Lex's deceitful manipulation of their meeting, a $1 billion bounty is placed on Superman.
I'll figure out a way to clear this up later. Right now, you and I have a meteor to stop.
Batman and Superman decide to prioritize collecting data on the meteor, but discover that Metallo was killed by radiation. Suddenly, they're attacked by an army of supervillains who want to collect the bounty.
I suppose it's useless to tell you to leave.
I wouldn't miss this for anything.
Your funeral.
Already had one.
Leading to an intense showdown. Following Batman's discovery of who killed Metallo, they aim to collect data from Lex's computers, only to face his enlisted heroes, Shazam and Hawkman. After a decent fight, Bruce and Clark impersonate them to infiltrate the base and retrieve the data from Amanda Waller.
Now go save us.
Batman then meets his contact in Japan, Toyman, who reveals the rocket he constructed to destroy the meteor.
Wow.
Their efforts are foiled when Lex destroys the autopilot, leaving Batman with no choice
Goodbye.
but to race to the cockpit and manually pilot the rocket. After sacrificing himself by colliding directly with the meteor, Batman's escape pod drifts into space, but he awakens to Superman. As he makes a triumphant return to Earth and the crowds cheer, the sun rises, so Batman decides not to stick around.
It's late. Late? Come on, it's early.
Number 5. Batman, the Brave and the Bold. Kevin voices Batman in a special episode when Batman accidentally travels to a distant planet called Zur-En-Arr. Here, Batman takes on the guise of Talano, a newspaper reporter at the Solar Cycle Globe. After work, he dons an eccentric and colorful costume to fight crime in Gothtropolis.
The Bat Radio, one of my better crime-fighting inventions.
Upon meeting Batman of Earth, they compare their inspiration, Batmobile, City, Batcave, and Butler.
As a crime fighter, that you too were inspired by one of these. Something like that.
However, when Rotool, a bald genius and arch nemesis, attacks Gothtropolis with his robots, the two Batmen team up to thwart his plans. While Batman uses his gadgets, Batman of Earth discovers he has superpowers and gains Vilsey's admiration, much to Batman's dismay.
He's incredible.
Hit a stabilizer coil. Lucky shot.
Batman analyzes and scans his body, revealing that his muscles and tissues have been augmented due to exposure to Rodon, a substance in the planet's atmosphere. As Talano heads to work, acting slightly clumsy,
Fallen off the face of Zur-En-Arr.
No, just locked my keys in my transport. Sorry about that.
he hears Vilsey praising the new Batman, believing he's more incredible than his Batman.
He can't be more incredible than Batman.
See for yourself.
Things escalate when Rotool launches another attack on the city, exposing the other Batman to quartz, Rodon's kryptonite. Weakened, Batman arrives in his jet to stop the other from being crushed, while Vilsey continues reporting.
It's Batman! Our Batman.
After spraying him with a polymer compound to shield him from Rodon exposure, the two Batmen team up again to stop Rotool, as he also rescues Vilsey.
I've got you, Miss Baylor.
You certainly do, Batman.
Number 6. Superman Batman Apocalypse. In the second animated crossover film with Superman, a mysterious spaceship crashes into Gotham City, so Batman investigates the crash site. As he discovers kryptonite and Kryptonian writing on the ship, an intruder steals his ride and creates chaos with her powers. After Batman uses kryptonite to weaken her, he scans the mysterious woman in the Batcave. When she suddenly awakens and destroys his computer, Superman reveals that her name is Kara Zor-El, his cousin.
Your cousin just torched $50,000 worth of custom hardware.
Send me the bill.
On a reporter's salary. Right.
Despite Kara trying to adjust, Batman believes she could be a threat, as trust doesn't come easy.
Having no control over her powers is more than a loose end. She's dangerous.
In accordance, he calls for Wonder Woman to take her, so Kara can train and harness her powers. 2 months later, Batman and Superman visit her in Themyscira to see her progress, but Batman argues with Superman's decisions.
Ever since this girl came into our lives, you've let your guard down, Clark. Even exposed your secret identity, despite common sense.
Suddenly, an army of Doomsday clones arrive to fight, so Batman and the others respond.
Well, did you come here to sightsee or fight?
Although Batman's skills are showcased, he realizes that this is all a distraction as Darkseid kidnaps Kara. With Big Barda, they use her mother box to launch a rescue on Apocalypse. While the others find Kara, Batman heads for his backup plan and locates the armory filled with hellspores, the origin of Apocalypse's fire pits. He confronts Darkseid, revealing that he's activated all of them.
You're bluffing.
Omega Lambda 7 XL9. That sounds like a bluff to you?
Angered, Darkseid attacks, so Batman threatens not to deactivate them unless Darkseid releases Kara. Darkseid initially calls his bluff, but ultimately falls prisoner to Batman's threat. After the heroes leave with Kara, she embraces being Supergirl, gaining Batman's trust. Number 7. Justice League Doom. The film opens with Batman discovering a matter-phasing device and contacting the Justice League. Despite their advice to wait, Batman charges ahead and clashes with the Royal Flush Gang, leaving him injured. The League shortly arrives and helps stop them, but Batman's determined to uncover the benefactor and refuses to call it a night.
Your injuries are severe. A session with my healing ray could save you several days of recovery.
I'm fine, Diana.
However, Cyborg reveals it will take him time to sort through the data, so Batman heads to the Batcave and meets Alfred.
Late night playing cards, Master Bruce.
Something like that. How did you know?
Meanwhile, Mirror Master sneaks into the cave and steals crucial files from the Batcomputer. Later, when Bruce learns that his parents' bodies are missing, Bane ambushes him at their graves, knowing he's Batman. Simultaneously, the Legion of Doom attacks each member of the Justice League until they no longer threaten Vandal Savage's plan. Bruce awakens in a coffin, only to see his parents' skeleton and hear Bane's voice. This motivates him to escape, but he realizes the League is under attack.
Alfred, get the Batwing ready. The Justice League is under attack.
By whom?
By me!
As he helps them recover, the League suspects how Batman saved them, so he announces that the plans were his.
I've carefully studied every Justice Leaguer and created contingency plans to neutralize you, should that ever become necessary.
And he explains why he created them.
None of us would ever do that to you.
Then you're damn fools.
Batman reveals that Mirror Master stole them and someone altered them, but locates the Legion's headquarters. After learning Vandal's plan,
will utterly destroy the sunward-facing side of the Earth. Nearly half the world's population will die instantly.
The League appears, shocks the Legion, and faces them. When Vandal's rocket hits the sun, the League uses the Legion's HQ and matter-phasing technology to help the Earth phase through the flare. The League then votes if Batman should remain a member. However, Batman defends himself.
The Justice League is far too dangerous to lack a failsafe against any possible misuse of our power.
And since they can't accept his reason,
if you people can't see the potential danger of an out-of-control Justice League, I don't need to wait for a vote.
He quits. Superman indicates he made a contingency for everyone except himself, so Batman responds,
I do have a plan. It's called the Justice League.
Giving Superman enough reason to trust him. Number 8. The Injustice series. Kevin returns to video games in the highly praised comic series. Injustice Gods Among Us opens in an alternate universe where Superman murders the Joker for manipulating him into killing his wife and unborn son and destroying Metropolis. We then cut to the Prime universe, where Batman and other heroes are suddenly transported to the other universe, which Superman's regime now controls.
Can't believe we freaking lost Batman. Hope the big boss doesn't find out.
I'm in a nightmare.
As Batman's insurgency opposes him, he reveals he brought them to help overthrow Superman.
I have a weapon to take down Superman. A kryptonite-based laser.
A kryptonite weapon?
It'll incapacitate him, nothing more.
With the weapon they later retrieve from the Batcave. But when that plan fails, Batman loses hope, wanting to send the others home.
Without help, you'll die. And the insurgency along with you.
Then maybe that's my fate.
Prime Batman is forced to fight him to convince him there's another way.
You brought us here because you had faith. We'd uphold the values you've given everything to defend. Let's end this.
They bring Prime Superman to this dimension, who ultimately helps imprison Superman in a cell surrounded by red solar lamps. We then cut to Injustice 2, opening with a flashback of Batman stopping Superman from executing criminals until Robin opposes him.
Damn it, Damian! This is a line we do not cross.
Then stay on your side, Batman.
Returning to the present, several years after the first game, Bruce tries to rebuild Gotham and Metropolis, and secretly creates a communications hub called Brother Eye to monitor his enemies. However, when Brainiac invades and takes over Brother Eye, Batman suits up and expands his rank with former enemies to defeat him.
Lantern, maybe it's time I widened my circle of trust.
As Brainiac's reign continues, Batman has no choice but to set Superman free, join forces, and coordinate their attack.
We're back online, everyone. We have 1 hour to evacuate civilians before we engage Brainiac and the fleet.
With Supergirl, Batman breaks into Brainiac's ship and finally teams up with Superman to fight. However, the rivalry soon returns when Batman stops Superman from killing Brainiac.
My powers! How did you— Gold kryptonite, courtesy of Firestorm.
Equipping the new suit, he defeats Superman, sends him to the Phantom Zone, and recruits Supergirl into the new Justice League. Number 9. Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox. His role is relatively small compared to his other appearances, but it's still worthwhile. When the Reverse Flash places bombs on the Flash and Rogues to destroy Central City, Batman suddenly enters through a skylight with the League behind him. As Batman begins analyzing them and deduces that they're future tech,
We'll attempt to disarm the devices once sufficiently isolated.
the League splits up, each taking a rogue to locations far from the city. Batman pairs with Green Lantern, taking Mirror Master into orbit and beginning to disarm the bomb. After Reverse Flash taunts Flash of how he couldn't save his mom, Batman responds and tries to comfort him.
Thawne's a classic sociopath. They have a knack for knowing just what will get under your skin.
However, Reverse Flash's remarks convince Flash to reset the timeline to save her. In this new timeline called Flashpoint, Flash meets this universe's Batman, Thomas Wayne, as Bruce died in Crime Alley instead. After Thomas learns Bruce is Batman in Flash's timeline, he gives Flash a letter before he resets the timeline again. Although some things aren't exactly the same, as Bruce's costume has changed to black instead of blue, Flash explains what happened.
Just to review, you went back in time, prevented your mother's murder, and completely changed the time stream.
He then gives Bruce the letter, which he quickly recognizes is his father's handwriting. Reading it, Thomas's heartfelt words cause him to shed some tears, so he thanks Flash for this gift.
You're one hell of a messenger. Thank you.
Number 10. Batman's 75th Anniversary Shorts. To celebrate 75 years of The Dark Knight, who better to voice the shorts of this significant occasion than the icon himself? In the first short, set in a black and white 1939 Gotham, a monster kidnaps a woman for Hugo Strange's twisted experiments. Suddenly, Batman approaches them in the Batplane, shooting tear gas around them before switching to autopilot. He jumps into action, attacking the monster, and uses the gas to his advantage by moving swiftly through the shadows. But when the monster gains the upper hand, Batman resorts to his martial arts to blind and stop him. Now to deal with Strange, who holds a knife to the woman. Batman instills fear, and Strange loses his balance when he moves and falls off a cliff to his death, but not before Batman quickly uses his grapnel to save the woman.
Is it over?
For now.
Moving on to the second short, Terry finds Bruce unconscious near the Batcomputer until he reveals he was attacked by himself.
Who did this? It was me.
Figuratively speaking, as the New Adventures Batman emerges from the shadows and attacks Terry. Batman quickly gains the upper hand on Terry and prevents his escape. However, when Terry discovers Batman's an android, he shocks him, and Bruce voice activates the Batmobile's ignition to incinerate it. Bruce then believes it wasn't alone, as he spots more androids of Batman from different shows, films, and comics.
7 against 2. Pretty bad odds.
For them.
Number 11. Batman: The Killing Joke. He's back with another standalone adventure, drawing inspiration from a beloved comic. After he and Batgirl respond to a robbery involving Paris France, he escapes, and Batgirl loses him again when she runs solo. Batman shows concern, as he doesn't want her near his crazy without him, since Paris isn't afraid.
He's a nasty combination of narcissist and sociopath. I haven't had to deal with his type of crazy in a while.
Batgirl refuses to listen and is tricked, so Batman says they're not the same.
You're not in it like I am, Barbara.
It's still a game for you. It's still a thrill.
Revealing that she hasn't gotten to the edge of being drawn to kill criminals, he takes her off the case. When Batman is ambushed by Paris and his men, Batgirl arrives and loses control. Being driven to the edge, she retires the cowl.
I saw that abyss you spoke about. I don't know how you resist it. I don't think it's humanly possible after a while.
A week later, Batman investigates a crime scene, deducing that Joker is responsible. So he goes to Arkham, but after talking with him, he discovers he escaped.
Where is he? Do you realize what you've set free? What it's capable of? Do you have any idea?
While Batman returns to the cave to review Joker's cases, pondering his next move, he later learns that Joker shot Barbara and kidnapped Commissioner Gordon. As Joker tries to drive Jim insane to get to Batman, Batman leaves no stone unturned to find him.
I swear to God, man, he ain't been around. Ah!
Swear to me.
You! I swear to you!
Until he receives a personal invitation. After a flashback of Batman confronting the man who would become the Joker, which led to his transformation, he frees Jim and chases Joker into his funhouse. Batman counters his attacks, but ultimately doesn't beat the hell out of him.
No, not this time. I don't want either of us to end up killing the other.
Despite what Joker did, Batman offers to help him as he believes they share a tragedy. Joker rejects the offer, claiming it's too late, but says this reminds him of a joke about two guys escaping an asylum. As the joke parallels his relationship with Joker, Batman smiles and joins him in laughing. Number 12. Justice League Action. Kevin finally gets to have some fun with the character, as this version is unlike any other.
Get that away from me! Is it poison?
It's chocolate.
While he's still his brooding self, he serves as a vital League member and embarks on various experiences. From smaller scale missions to epic adventures, Batman frequently joins forces with the League and other heroes. His adventures are often short, so let's dive into his most notable ones. They start with traveling back in time with Blue Beetle to catch Kronos, leading them to witness his first case.
I am Batman.
I thought you said we don't pose.
We're not talking about it.
Then, when Mr. Freeze kidnaps Killer Frost to freeze Gotham, Batman must team up with Firestorm before it's too late.
Infiltrate Freeze's airship while I provide air cover. We need to disable that freeze ray.
In an interesting adventure, Batman is struck with a beam that splits him into his good and evil selves, who fight each other.
Batman, I have nothing but the utmost respect for your skills. Let's talk this out.
But the evil one prevails and tries to split the world into reds. Another adventure is when Mr. Mixia-Spitlick swaps the League's minds, placing Batman in Stargirl's body. This is where we see what Batman would sound like if he were a teenage girl.
This body switch doesn't seem to have diminished your effectiveness.
I know. Isn't that great? I'm so excited about it.
Lastly, Batman and the League are turned into players by Toyman, who engages Cyborg in an arcade match. As Toyman chooses Superman as his character and forces Cyborg to choose Batman.
Oh, come on! Batman doesn't have any powers! Not that he needs any.
Cyborg must use his skills to emerge victorious.
You just carry that with you?
Batman has gone on many adventures, but these are only a glimpse of them. Number 13. Lego DC Supervillains. He returns to video games, but now he's in Lego form and has a small role in the villain-centered storyline. When Joker and Harley Quinn steal items from Wayne Tech, Batman swoops in the Batplane to catch them.
2 with 1 shot. Not bad.
However, Green Lantern's attempt to stop Solomon Grundy causes the Batplane to crash and allows Joker and Harley to escape. As Batman helps the Justice League arrest supervillains, the Justice Syndicate suddenly appears, making it seem that they're here to help. Batman interrupts them.
We come from a skip to the end. Joker's getting away.
But they quickly drop their ruse when they transport the League elsewhere. Much later in the game, the League escapes imprisonment on Apokolips and learns Darkseid sent the Syndicate to search for the last piece of the anti-life equation. When framed as villains, they decide to team up with the Legion of Doom.
The world thinks the crime syndicate are heroes. So, If they want to be the good guys, I guess we'll just have to be the bad guys.
So Batman joins forces with Joker for recruitment.
Copy that.
I'm the co-pilot.
Give me that back. Now sit there and don't touch anything.
After sending the Syndicate back to Earth 3, the Rookie, an Amazo android, absorbs the powers of the final piece but is captured by Darkseid. Though Batman and Catwoman chase him, he and the others later confront Darkseid on Apocalypse. However, Darkseid's plan of using the equation fails. Batman reveals that the Rookie is from Earth 3.
Rookie turned up just before the crime syndicate, which makes me think our super powerful stranger is from Earth 3.
Which messed up the equation, allowing him to turn Darkseid temporarily good. Number 14. Teen Titans Go! Kevin makes only a brief but great cameo as the classic B-Task Batman. He returns with some humor as the episode follows Robin's story of how he stepped out of Batman's shadow. The theme is supposed to be serious, but Batman makes it both serious and unintentionally funny. After arresting the Joker in Gotham City, Commissioner Gordon thanks Batman for his service. Batman claims he can't take all the credit as Robin helped him. When Gordon asks where he is, Robin says he's here, but neither Batman nor Gordon can see him, setting up a recurring joke.
Who said that? I think it was a ghost.
Not a ghost, just me.
Robin, where are you?
Robin, clearly visible to the audience but not to the characters, stays in Batman's shadow until Gordon finally spots him. Batman repeats the gag.
Now, Robin, where are you?
Still in your shadow.
Oh.
And Robin realizes it will always be like this, prompting him to step out of his shadow. Batman thinks it has to do something with his appearance.
It's the short shorts, isn't it? I can get you longer shorts if that'll make a difference.
But Robin just wants to be a solo hero. Batman bids Robin farewell with some comedy to end the scene.
Good luck, Robin. Wherever you are.
I'm still here.
Who said that?
Number 15. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? Here's an unexpected crossover event when Scooby-Doo and the gang head to Gotham to meet Alfred. When they discover a break-in at Wayne Manor, they investigate to find him. Batman, struggling to change his costume due to Fred's interference, confronts Shaggy and Scooby and interrogates them.
What are you doing here? Who sent you? What have you done with Alfred?
He then meets the gang, who question his arrival.
But if you were on your way here when you passed us, how did we get here first?
And where'd you park the Batmobile?
But as he prefers to work alone, he renders them unconscious. However, when the gang find integral clues to this mystery, Batman, in the 60s Batmobile, answers their call.
Do you know Bruce Wayne?
You know that dude who's crazy, super rich and stuff?
Yes.
And learns that someone is trying to hack into Bruce's bank accounts. Instead of looking into it, Batman decides to go to Arkham as the claw measurements near the abduction match the Man-Bat. After some humor,
Still here. Nope, you just gotta hang up. Maybe if you take your glove off?
Batman learns that Kirk Langstrom, the true Man-Bat, didn't escape and realizes who is truly behind it. As the gang's attempt to trap the Man-Bat imposter fails, Batman crashes through the skylight and attacks him. While his batarangs prove futile, he continues to engage him in a long fight and save Shaggy and Scooby from his grasp. With the Man-Bat trapped, they unmask the imposter, the Joker, and Batman locates the kidnapped.
I would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for you meddling kids. Oh, and Batman.
Number 16. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Kevin makes his live-action debut during the biggest crossover in the Arrowverse. He thought that he was aging out of the character, but since Kevin voiced an older Bruce Wayne, he jumped at the chance to do an older live-action Bruce.
Because I was getting older and older and older. I was sort of aging out of Batman, you know. But luckily I aged into old Bruce Wayne.
When an antimatter wave threatens to destroy the multiverse, the Monitor sends heroes to locate 7 paragons across space and time to defeat the Anti-Monitor. Batwoman and Supergirl are sent to find the Paragon of Courage, leading them to Earth 99, Gotham City, to find the Bat of the Future. Breaking into his home, Bruce walks down his stairs in an exoskeleton and is shocked to see Kate. Revealing that he's in this suit because of a lifetime of injuries, he discusses his cousin Kate, who died 5 years ago.
Plenty of ghosts in this place. But you're not one of them.
As Bruce learns about the crisis and paragons, He laughs at her story and denies her help, claiming he's not a hero anymore. After being drawn to the edge of his moral code, he killed one criminal and then continued one after another, losing track of how many he killed.
The Bruce I knew had a code.
You start with a code, but then you take one life.
Kate tries again to convince Bruce, but being a broken and corrupted version of Batman, Bruce refuses, believing that any universe like this should be destroyed. When Kara discovers he killed Superman and confronts him, he reveals that Superman was a threat.
How is he a threat?
Strange visitor from another planet comes to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men.
And attacks Kara with kryptonite.
Little souvenir from the old hometown.
When Kate intervenes and counters his attack, Bruce is kicked into a generator, electrocuting him to death. Number 17. Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3. As we reach the end of Kevin's performance, it's clear that his cameo is a perfect finale to his career. Following the events of the DC animated movie universe, Constantine used a spell on Flash to reset the timeline, creating the Tomorrowverse. Like the live-action crossover, an antimatter wave annihilates Earths in the multiverse, unleashed by the Anti-Monitor. Summoned to the Monitor satellite, heroes from across the multiverse have small successes, but eventually run out of options and have nowhere to turn. While learning the aftermath of the DC AMU, Mr. Terrific says the Anti-Monitor Armada has reached Earth 12. Police blips, red skies, and lightning are shown, hinting to us that this is the DCAU as we cut to the B-Task Batman. Amid the chaos, Joker tries to creep up on him, but Batman throws him to the ground and punches him. As Joker says, he's flattered that Batman's with him when it's the end of the world. The wave approaches and destroys most of Gotham. Witnessing the end, Batman grabs Joker and claims that he only cares about Gotham and justice. He then delivers such a powerful line that resonates with the weight of a completed era.
And if it has to end, at least I go out like this, being Batman.
I mean, what better way to honor his memory than stopping his Joker as the universe ends? What's your favorite Kevin Conroy performance as Batman? Put on the cape and cowl and let me know your favorite memory in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on my latest content. Thanks again to my patrons for keeping this channel going, and I'll see you all in the next video.